my my journey with yoga. My journey with yoga started in 2013, and it was connected to a health condition. I had a very scary symptom where my upper part of the body would go numb to my throat, my arms, and I would just faint off. And when I faint off, I'll rise up again. It feel like when I was going for long hours, when I might have fainted for just like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I have a headache and migraine that stay for days. So saw the doctor, run a couple of tests, and abdominally my triglyceride and cholesterol were really high. And back then, nobody believed me. Not even the doctor believed that I was eating the right way, no processed food. I was vegetarian. It was like, no, it's not working. We're going to put you on medication. And I couldn't exercise. I couldn't run. I couldn't walk fast. I couldn't go to the gym. And actually, my first fainting episode happened in a gym in a Zumba class. And that was scary for me. And it was more scary than anything now. So I started yoga because in my body it felt like this is contained. It happens in a certain way, and I will be fine. And that's what happened. So kept doing yoga for a couple of months. I learned from a teacher for a whole year actually. And the first few months from the first episode, run for did a blood test again, nothing much changed. Doctor was like, you're lying, you're not doing the work, so we have to change your medication. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, no, I know what I'm doing. I didn't really reply back. And then 3 months after that, I nearly had one more fainting episode and went for another blood test on a different doctor this time. And it came out that everything was clean and neat in place now. Everything was all right. And it was like, I don't know what magic this is. And nothing is wrong with you. Your heart is working absolutely fine. Everything is fine with you. And what hit me at that time, nobody asked me how stressed I was or what kind of peak stress I have experienced in my life. Nobody asked me what I've been through for the last couple of years of my recently. Nobody asked me whether I've had some major life transition. Everybody assumed it was about food. Everybody assumed it was about eating wrongly. But I knew it wasn't that because I knew what I was eating. I knew how I was living my life. So I understood back then that what happened to me was less about food, but something else that nobody could explain. But my body would felt it. So I was intention all the time. And it was connected to years of having lived in stress, in fight and flight, as young as I was, as a young girl, growing up and being married, and all of this. So a lot of stress, a lot of fight and flight, a lot of being drained. So I would oscillate from being fight and flight, mobilized, always looking for danger, and then being completely drained at the end of the day. That was my daily routine, my way of living and being for years and years and years. When I did my Hatha Yoga Teacher training in 2018, I understood that for me, it was about moving beyond just to Hatha Yoga Teacher training. I was going to integrate something else. So after that, I did what is called as the applied Polyvagal tool. It's about understanding this entire part of the autonomic nervous system. The parasympathetic, the sympathetic, and then the part of our nervous system that goes into freezing and dying and just numbing. And that's where I would go. I would fight and flight, and I would numb, off energy, no life, and lifeless. That was my profile. That's what I had as very anchored profile for years in my body. So what I do as work is not from an understanding, intellectual understanding, it's from an embodied understanding because it's my life. It's what I've been through. It was still I'm going through. Unprocessed events. And it doesn't matter whether you call it traumatic, stressful or not. Unprocessed event does a lot inside the body. It's not even about outside the body. It does a lot to the chemistry of the body, but most importantly, there's something that happened to our nervous system. And then the nervous system stayed in a certain mode, in a certain internal state. And sadly, what begins as a state in the body is now converted as a story in the mind. I'm also training cognitive tool. And then we take those stories, we lead our life with beliefs and memories and thoughts that are not supporting us. Thoughts and beliefs and memories that are aligned with the nervous system state. If you live in a state of danger, and fight and flight and dying and numbing, that's the kind of soul that are also leading you every day. Nobody tells us that when you are hyper stressed, you're going to have a lot of cholesterol in your blood because your body is actually giving you energy to fight or to run away. Nobody tells you that when you start numbing and feeling down, you're going to put on weight weirdly, and it's not connected to food because now the body is not even interested in digesting. It's going to do one simple thing. It's going to do everything it can to preserve your life, and it's about preservation. So my work is about working with our body and our nervous system in such a way that we begin to find safety in mobilization. We begin to find safety even when the heartbeat suddenly increases and rises. That's one thing. We also begin to find safety in movement. So you have sensation in the body, and sensation don't have to be tagged as danger or life threat. And also for us to find, and this is my own story, to find safety in opening up in expansion, because this is where life begins. Learning, expanding, receiving happen when the parasympathetic is activated, and we'll find safety, and safety is inside. It's not even out there in the body. It's not even out there in the world. It doesn't matter how much safe I can make you feel. If you're not being moved internally into an experience of safety, you won't feel it, you won't receive it. So my journey with yoga is a very interesting journey. It's a journey of ownership. It's a journey of wisdom that lies in my body. It's a journey of knowing that if somebody tells me that this is it, and I'm feeling that something else is happening, I'm not going to take my body's wisdom for granted. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, I run apply Polyvagal yoga class every Sunday morning, Mauritian time, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Get in touch with me. And if you want to run a group session maybe at a different time for your own group, I'm most welcome to do that.